What's up, everyone? Southside Braves here, and welcome to this week of the Gridiron Update. Sorry I've missed a couple weeks. Had some housework being done and some pet issues. One of the two has been taken care of for the most part. We'll see how the other goes. So yeah, I'm back. Sorry again for missing those weeks. But we're going to do a quick little update one this week. Just get my power rankings out there and my picks out there to try to get caught up, and then we'll do a fully fledged episode again next week. So that's my plan, trying to get caught up a little bit. So let's just jump right into it and take a look at my power rankings. We're not going to talk too in-depth about any of these because this is like with, I think, 3 weeks worth of games. So you might see some movement here. These are my worst 8 teams. Really the bottom, I think the league's very much split in half. I think there are 16 decent teams and 16 not so much. So these are my worst 8. You'll see the Steelers there at 25. Obviously, they're 5-3 and right there in their division. But as a Steeler fan, I'm allowed to be more harsh on them. I've said this in the past. And until I see that offense give me any sort of hope, I'm leaving them down here in the 20s. So hopefully we have one breakout game and I feel good about it and we can move us up. But until then, we're staying down here. Cardinals take over the worst spot again after trading away Josh Dobbs. And looks like they are going into tank mode, although Kyler comes back now, so we'll see. But yeah, putting the Patriots at 30, I love. I just love seeing the Patriots this low. That's awesome. Worst team in the AFC by like a game and a half. So, yep, Cardinals, Giants, Patriots. Washington traded away some key pieces in that they're giving up on the season. You got Carolina at 28, who picked up their first win during this time I was away. Colts at 27, Rams, who have not looked good during my time away, they fall 11 spots, and then the Steelers at 25. So, 17-24, the rest of the not-so-good teams. Falcons jump 2 spots, 24. I'm leaving the Bears put at 23. I like the Tyson, I think it's Tyson, right? Bagent time. It was fun. So, I'm just going to leave them be. Bucks fall 4 spots, 22. Broncos have gotten it together a little bit. They climb all the way up to 21. Titans at 20 with the Will Levis era now beginning. He's looked good for them. Packers at 19, Raiders at 18, and my NFC Super Bowl pick at 17 there, the Saints. So, yeah, like I said, I'm not going to go into too much detail here because, again, it's a handful of games. But here is 17 through 24. Moving on, next, we got 9 through 16. This is where you start to see some actual quality football teams. Jets fall 6 spots to 16. They are really just trying to survive without Rodgers. They're in full hang-on mode. Rumors of Rodgers may only be a few weeks away, so we'll see. Yeah, I know he told McAfee something about that, so we'll see how that goes. Cowboys at 15. They play a bad team, they win. They play a good team, they lose. That seems how their season has gone so far. Niners, 3-game losing streak while I was away. They're down 7 spots. And because of that, Seahawks now are in first in the division, so they're going to climb 3 to 1 spot ahead of them. The Texans I've still liked this year with how they've played. They're up to 12. Lions, if I would have done one during the time I was away, I think I had them all the way up to 2 at one point. But they picked up a bad loss to the Ravens where they kind of demolished them. So that's why you see them back here at 11. I think they could easily crack the top 10 again here shortly. Bengals have seemed to have gotten it going, which I'm not thrilled by. They're at 10. Dolphins fall 8 spots to 9. They're very much like the Cowboys. They play a bad team, they win. They play a good team, they lose. So, and now your top 8 teams. And there are 2 teams in here that I've said every week that I'm higher on than anyone else, and I'll talk about each of them. So here at 8, we have Kansas City. Still the team I have the most confidence in the AFC, but they're very much like the Bills ahead of them now. They're capable of a stinker. They had a game, was it not last week, but the week before, where they did not look good at all. They need Taylor Swift there every game, it seems like. So they fall 5 spots to 8. Bills right ahead of them. Like I said, you could easily flip-flop either of them. They're at 7. 5 and 6, my 2 teams that I always have ranked higher than I should. And then, first, let me talk about the Vikings. Man, I love Josh Dobbs. Without Kirk, without Justin Jefferson, this is going to be the highest we see the Vikings all year, and they will fall. But I wanted to give them one more shout out here at 6. That Josh Dobbs game last week was awesome. That was so much fun. I still think it's a talented team when healthy, but they're just not healthy anymore. So they will start to plummet, I think. But one last time I wanted them up here. Chargers at 500, I have at 5. This isn't the league standings. This is my power rankings. I still believe the Chargers are one of the most talented teams in the league. I love their roster. I'm a big Herbert guy. Their defense should be good. So I'm leaving them at 5. They did climb back up to 500, and I think we're going to see them go on a run here. I hope we see them go on a run. Well, I don't really hope it, because I want as many wild card spots for the Steelers, but I think they're going to start winning some games. Browns all the way up to 4 here. If the playoffs started right now, all 4 teams from the AFC North would make the playoffs. Ravens, Browns, Bengals, and Steelers. And the Browns have looked good even with subpar quarterback play. So I do have them at 4. Eagles at 3. I believe, am I correct, they're the only one lost team in the league left. So they're at 3. Ravens, who have probably looked the most impressive over the last 3 weeks or so, I have at 2. And I actually have the Jacksonville Jaguars as your number 1 team in the NFL right now. This might be a little bit out of spite and refusing to put the Ravens there, but I'm going with the Jaguars. These are your top 8. These are my power rankings. Again, larger sample size this week than in past weeks, so a little bit more change. Please let me know what you think of the power rankings, where I went wrong, where I went right. Leave it down in the comments. Tell me what you think. And yeah, again, hopefully the power rankings should be coming back out every single week now after this. So, next up, let's take a look at the upcoming matchups for the week. I believe the early Sunday game will be being played as I'm recording this. It's currently 8:45 a.m. Central Time. So I believe that game started 15 minutes ago, so I have not looked at it yet. I'm not going to even bother doing the Thursday night game if I get it up late. I would have picked the Bears over the Panthers, but who really cares in that game? So let's just start real quick with the game that just started, Colts at Patriots. So as far as this game goes, honestly, kind of another game as to me is kind of like a who cares. 2 teams that aren't going anywhere. But over in Germany, I'm going to say the Colts win. If it was in New England, I'd probably give it to the Patriots, and they need a win. But I think the Colts are the better team. And since it's not really a home game for New England, I'm going to go with the Colts to win this one. They win the early morning game on Sunday. And actually, I'm going to live while I'm recording this. I'm going to look and see if I'm all right. I'm going to look up the score. Because again, it did start 20-ish minutes ago. Let's see. Colts, Patriots. Oh, Patriots are up 3-0. So, I'm wrong so far, but very, very early. Next up, Texans at Bengals. This is a better football game than I think it looks like on paper. I think this is winnable for the Texans for sure. I do think the Bengals have found it, though, which upsets me. I am going to say the Bengals win this, but the Texans could push them here. Obviously, I'll be rooting for the Texans. But yeah, like I said, what I've seen out of Joe Burrow and the Bengals last few weeks has been very impressive. I do know Jamar Chase is questionable in this game now. If Chase doesn't play, I'll give it to the Texans. But I think Chase will play. I'm going to go Bengals win this one at home. Next up, we got Saints at Vikings. So we had that awesome Josh Dobbs game like I talked about. So much fun. You know what? Josh Dobbs is going to get it done again. Josh Dobbs is going to lead this team that he barely knows his teammates' names to another win. As a Steeler fan, I'm rooting for Josh Dobbs big time. I wish we would have kept him over Rudolph. Because people talk about, should Kenny Pickett be the starter? Is he any good? Blah, blah, blah. Whether he is or not, I think he's the better option right now over Trubisky and Rudolph. I think if we had Dobbs there, it might be a question. But either way, I'm rooting for the kid. He seems like a great guy. Josh Dobbs picks up his second win for the Vikings in as many weeks. Next up, we got Packers at Steelers. Again, I'm just going to fill this in real quick because we know how my Steeler pick goes every week. Now, why can we beat the Packers? We win games when the other team makes mistakes. Our defense needs to make splash plays for us to win games. Jordan Love in that Packers offense is very, very capable of giving us the ball. And that's what we need them to do for us to win. Jordan Love's capable of taking sacks from TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith. That's what we need him to do. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to be turnover prone. They're going to be mistake happy. And the Steelers are going to capitalize on it. And we're going to pick up this win in Pittsburgh. Simple as that. If a team plays perfect against us, well, not perfect. That's not the right word. If they play mistake-free against the Steelers, they win the game. I don't think the Packers will play mistake-free. And hopefully our offense does something. It looked better last week with sideline Canada. Next up, Titans at Bucks. All right. Another game of kind of two so-so teams. Titans got a little bit extra rest playing on Thursday of last week. Will Levis has looked good. I'm going to say he picks up the win. I'm going to say the young kid for Tennessee looks good for a third straight game. He's going to be under a little less pressure than he was last week against the Steelers. And he's going to thrive under that and pick up the win. So Will Levis picks up another win for the Titans. And they need to still use Derrick Henry. Don't rely too much on Levis. Still use Henry. All right, this might be our game of the week here. Niners at Jaguars. Both teams coming off a bye. Niners lost 3 straight before the bye. Jaguars had won, I think, 5 straight. I'm going to say it doesn't flip. I'm not confident in this one, but I'm going to say the Jaguars keep the win streak going even post-bye, and the Niners keep the losing streak going post-bye. And the Niners will lose 4 in a row. That sounds wrong to say with how good that team is, but that's what I'm going to go with. Jaguars prove to me why I put them at number 1 in the league. Next up, the big battle in the AFC North. Browns at Ravens. Now, although I obviously root against every team in the AFC North for the Steelers' sake, I do kind of want to see a world where all 4 AFC North teams make it. And this is one of the few weeks that I think both results would be the same. I would want the Browns to win this for the Steelers' sake to catch the Ravens for the division, and that would even us out even more and have us a better chance of all of us making it. So, I want the Browns to win. That would be beneficial to me in multiple ways. I don't think that happens. I think the Ravens win at home. They've been rolling. The Browns, again, questionable quarterback play over the last month or so, 2 months, maybe the last 2 years, maybe for a franchise history. But I'm going to go with the Ravens here. They win at home. They stay rolling until they hit us again, maybe. But, yeah, Ravens win at home. Next up, Falcons at Cardinals, and I do believe this will be Kyler Murray's first game back for the Cardinals. So that could be a difference maker. And I'm going to say it will be. Falcons, another team with big quarterback questions. They've gone from Ritter to Heineke last week. Did it look any better? I don't know. Ask yourself that. It kind of looked like the same team. So I'm going to say Kyler Murray comes in, he looks good, and picks up the win here for the Cardinals, their second win of the year, and they win at home against the Falcons. I'm not a big Kyler Murray fan, so I would rather the Falcons win. I'd rather root for Heineke than Murray, but we're going to say Murray gets it done here at home. Next up, Lions at Chargers. Ooh, another good game here. You guys know I'm weirdly high on the chart. Or weirdly is not the right word. It's not biased. It's, I don't know, stupidly high on the Chargers. But I also like the Lions. We're going to say Lions. this is weird to say. I trust the Lions more than I do the Chargers. I think they've been the more consistent of the two teams. And I'm going to say the Lions go into Los Angeles and win this game. It's not a very difficult home field. It's not a very difficult road field to play at for the Lions or for any team. So we're going to say the Lions go in there and win this football game. And jump back into the top 10 next week. Next up, Giants at Cowboys. Yeah, this one's... Much as I don't like the Cowboys, this one might be the easiest game I've picked so far. One team's good, one team's not. I mentioned it earlier in the power rankings. Cowboys play a bad team, they win. That simple. Giants are a very, very bad team. Cowboys will win, probably big. Next up, Commanders at Seahawks. Okay. Again, it should be this simple. Seahawks are the better team. If it was like the Cowboys, I'd feel very comfortable with that. But the Seahawks aren't as simple. Play a bad team, win. Play a good team, lose. They have some more inconsistency than that. But I do think the Commanders are kind of giving up on the year. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks to win this one. And I would like for them to win it big, but we'll see. We will see. But yeah, like I said, I think the Commanders have kind of sold on the rest of the season. Next up, Jets at Raiders. Again, Jets are kind of in survival mode. Trying to just hang on until Rodgers gets back. Zach Wilson, who has had a couple good performances. Like that game against the Chiefs, he was very good. And then he has just awful, awful performances. The Raiders seem to have new energy with the new coach, new quarterback. We'll see how long that lasts. But I will say it lasts at least one more week. Raiders win this like 10-7 or something. So it'll be a very low scoring game. That Jets defense is for real. That Jets defense is absolutely for real. But that offense is awful without Rodgers. So I'm going to say the Raiders pick up another win. Devontae stays happy for one more week. Who actually got to see Aaron Rodgers this week. So, yeah. But I'm going to say Raiders pick this one up at home. And the Jets are praying for Aaron Rodgers' return still. And last game of the week, the Monday night game. I do think the Broncos have been playing better football the last few weeks. The Bills have not been playing very good football. But the Bills need this one so badly. They lose, they fall to 5-5. And the AFC playoffs is tough to get in. So a loss here for the Bills could be huge. Obviously, the Broncos want to try to find a way back into it. They need a win, but that's not going to happen. So we're going to say the Bills win this one at home when they need it most. Josh Allen has a good game. Stephon Diggs has a good game, and they look like the Bills we expect. And for another week, we're like, oh, are the Bills one of the best teams? And then probably in a week or two, we'll say, nope, they're awful. So Bills might be the definition of inconsistency this year, but they'll pick up the win here on Monday night against the Broncos. And that's going to do it for this week's Gridiron Update. Again, kind of a quicker one. Wanted to just kind of get back on track. Coming weeks, I should get back to the normal episodes where I break down a game or two. Also more in depth with the power rankings and the picks. But yeah, just wanted to get the schedule right and get another one of these out here. So I hope you did enjoy. If you do, please do like and subscribe to the channel and the video. Would really appreciate that. Leave in the comments any of the picks you think I got wrong, what your picks are, any of the power rankings you disagree with, how you would change it. I love hearing your guys' opinion. Yeah, that's going to do it for the episode. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I hope to catch you in a future video. All right, see you guys.